The link to this story is actually right now down below in the description, and it comes from Your News. Know Everything. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was quick to cast the blame as war unfolded in Ukraine. On MSNBC, she blasted former President Trump for giving aid and comfort to Vladimir Putin. This was a quote. With an offhand remark that the Russian president was a quote-unquote genius, Mrs. Clinton conveniently omitted mentioning that not too long ago she and her husband had raked in millions working both sides of a Russia-Ukraine grift. Judicial Watch broke the story of former President Bill Clinton's multi-million-dollar haul from speech fees while his wife presided over the U.S. foreign policy. In a joint investigation with the Washington Times, Judicial Watch found that Mr. Clinton gave 215 speeches, making $48 million. According to documents obtained by Judicial Watch in a Freedom of Information Act litigation, State Department officials charged with reviewing the proposed Bill Clinton speeches for possible conflicts of interest did not object to a single one. The speech fees included a jaw-dropping $500,000 check from the Russian investment firm Renaissance Capital for a single speech. Years later, leaked emails revealed the close connection between the Renaissance Capital and Putin's inner circle. Reuters reported that the emails show top Renaissance officials awarding an unspecified stake in the firm to Matthias Warnig, a close Putin ally. Warnig served as an officer in the East Germany Stasi secret police at the same time as Putin was a KGB officer in Dresden in the late 1980s, Reuters noted. The Clintons also cultivated a relationship with Putin connection oligarch Viktor Veckelsberg. Now, he donated an estimated $75,000 to the Clinton Foundation. And in 2018, Veckelsberg was one of the 7 oligarchs sanctioned by the Trump administration for activities related to the Russian government's, quote, malign activity, including continuing to occupy Crimea and instigate violence in eastern Ukraine, close quote. According to findings by investigative reporter John Solomon, Veckelsberg also was involved in the Uranium One controversy, another lucrative cash cow that was part of the Clinton network. Now, the Uranium One was a Canadian uranium mining firm with United States holdings that the Russians wanted to buy. The vehicle for the purchase was Rosatom, the Russian State Atomic Energy Corporation. Because uranium is a strategic asset, the United States government had to approve the deal. Enter Veckelsberg and Secretary of State Clinton. At the time of Bill Clinton's $500,000 Russian speaking engagement, the former president sought permission from the State Department to meet with Veckelsberg and Arkady Dorkovich, a senior official of Rosatom. During the Moscow trip, Russia needed to also sign off, and it needed to have sign-off from the State Department on the interagency panel responsible for deciding the fate of the deal. You don't need to be a genius to connect the dots between a $500,000 speaking fee, a Russian trip to Moscow, and Russia's goal for cornering a big chunk of global uranium market. The sale of Uranium One to Rosatom was approved by both the United States and the Canadian governments. And in the years surrounding the deal, including before it became public knowledge, entities connected to Uranium One donated $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. The Clintons had a Ukrainian benefactor as well. According to the New York Times report, Ukrainian oligarch and steel baron Viktor Pinchuk steered between $10 million and $25 million to the Clinton Foundation, loaned his private jet to the Clintons, flew to Los Angeles to attend the Clintons' big 65th birthday that he had, and went to a dinner party at the Clintons' home. Pinchuk hired Doug Schoen, Mr. Clinton's former consultant, to arrange meetings with State Department officials to discuss Ukraine. Pinchuk also donated $150,000 to the Trump Foundation. Pinchuk has been embroiled in controversies in Ukraine for years, but has never been charged with a crime. And in 2013, the Commerce Department began investigating complaints that Pinchuk and others were illegally dumping steel on the United States market. The investigation went nowhere, and according to recent reportings, Pinchuk and his fellow Ukrainian oligarchs have put aside their sometimes bitter rivalries and are working to support Ukrainian independence. As for Mrs. Clinton, last week she declared that Americans should, get this, be, quote, calling out those people, close quote, who have been giving aid and comfort to Vladimir Putin and his allies. That's a good idea. Perhaps she can start by looking in the mirror. For Headlines with a Voice, this is Felicia Lockhart.